Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Man T.
Spectate.
I'm feeling real good. Feeling real good. Listen, today's just one of them days, and that song got me feeling good. So, today I'm going to talk about how to move lymph, hernias, and cavities. So, when talking about moving lymph, when talking about moving lymph, first things first, what is lymph? So, if you pull up a typical definition, it would say that it is a colorless fluid containing white blood cells which bathes the tissues and drains through the lymphatic system into the bloodstream. Now, that last part, drains through the lymphatic system into the bloodstream, I think that's a bunch of BS. Why? Because when you're talking about the blood, you're talking about feeding the cells, or it being the kitchen of the body. And when you're talking about the lymphatic system is the sewer system of the body. So it removes waste. So it makes no sense for the lymphatic system to put waste back into your kitchen. It makes no sense for you to have your kitchen and bathroom in the same room. But also, too, the blood itself, you have blood, you have cells, spaces, and two fluids all over the body. All right, the two fluids are blood and lymph. When you do more research, you'll find that the blood leaks fluid into these spaces. The fluid that are in these spaces goes into the lymphatic system, and then that same fluid in those spaces is now considered or now called lymphatic fluid. So essentially, the lymphatic fluid comes from the blood, plasma, white blood cells. I wouldn't say fats. A lot of fats are found in the blood, though. I would say the fats are absorbed into the lymphatic system from the small intestines. Now, when talking about lymph, of course, you have to talk about the lymphatic system, and the lymphatic system is your main immune system. You find lymphatic vessels, lymph nodes, your tonsils, the thymus gland, as well as your spleen being part of the lymphatic system. And you also have, collections of lymph nodes in certain places, such as under your arms, in the gut area, in your groin area, on your neck, etc. And little is known about the lymphatic system. Reason being, they recently found the lymphatic system in your head, as if they didn't know it before, which was strange. But the lymphatic system is from head to toe. But what you need to know is that the lymphatic system is your sewer system, and it deals with eliminating or removing unwanted substances from the body. Now, how do you move the lymphatic system? Well, movement, that is the main way to move the lymphatic system. So you have to exercise, light exercises at that. If you notice, people get massages, lymphatic massages, or moving the neurolymphatic points will help stimulate movement of lymph, movement of your waste in the body. So again, light exercises, walking, jumping on a trampoline. I wouldn't necessarily say lifting weights, even lifting light weights. Also, food, what you consume matters. So when breaking down, let's say mother's milk, all right, the most important form of nutrition that a baby can get, you'll find that it contains 7% carbohydrates, which is your simple sugars. Carbs are not starches. 3.5% fats, as well as 1% protein, and about 87 to 88% water. The reason I'm bringing this up is because this is going to determine what should humans eat moving forward. Now, the first 3 days, colostrum, I keep forgetting the word. The first 3 days is jam packed with protein. Why? Because protein are the building blocks. But after those first 3 days, first 3 days, for about what, the next 6 months, they say to 2 years, it's 7% carbs, 3.5% fats, 1% protein, 87 to 88% water. So long term, what foods contain that type of those type of components? Now that would be fruits, berries, and your melons, not your vegetables, not your proteins or your flesh foods, not your grains, none of that. So when you're talking about moving lymph, you want to give the body what it wants, and that's hydration. That's simple sugars. We all know simple sugars. Sugar gives us energy. So again, what food should we be eating to move lymph? Fruits, berries, and melons. Watermelons are extremely hydrating, but you want foods that are astringent to help tone and tighten tissues. So you have your grapes, your mangoes, etc. Now, what happens when you don't move lymph? Again, lymph is the sewer system, or the lymphatic system is your sewer system. You do not move lymph, your waste will accumulate. The waste is acidic, it is heat. So you're going to have heat in certain places. Inflammation, anybody? So whenever you are having problems in a certain area, whenever you're experiencing pain, think lymphatic stagnation. Inflammation, think lymphatic stagnation. All are just states of acidosis in certain areas of the body. Remember, the lymphatic system is from head to toe. So also, the key organs of elimination, or the key organs to move lymph out of the body, would be your kidneys and your skin. A lot of athletes get away with moving lymph because they sweat a lot, but they still end up lacking kidney function due to the excess protein that they are consuming. So when doing light exercise, when consuming fruits, berries, and melons, you want to make sure your kidneys are filtering. That way this waste does not accumulate and then cause you more problems or slow down your function. And again, when the lymphatic fluid accumulates, it contains waste, it contains white blood cells, it contains bad bacteria, good bacteria, because in the lymph nodes, you have good bacteria to help raise the pH of whatever they're trying to eliminate. So then you can urinate it out. But I think I think the pH of your urine is around 5 to 6. But if it goes below 5, then it begins to hurt. And that bacteria in your lymph nodes are there to raise that pH so it doesn't hurt while you're urinating. So no matter what issue you're having, always you want to focus on the lymph and moving lymph. And how do you do that? Light exercise and the foods you consume. Now, herbs. Don't want to forget about herbs. So herbs to help move lymph are your alternative herbs. I didn't have time to put them up on the screen or even really write out a good so I don't know what to say on the podcast. I'll figure it out. A good I want to say talk show. I just said a good plan. So, but again, the two key organs to focus on to remove waste from the body, or the two key organs that are the doorways or the doors to moving lymph out, would be your kidneys and your skin. So you will want herbs for the kidneys as well as the skin, and herbs for the lymphatic system will be your alternative herbs. So, or herbs that have an alternative action, such as cleavers, burdock root, poke root, red clover blossoms, calendula, and much more. So, but when using these herbs, you want to make sure your kidneys are filtering, or you're taking herbs for the kidneys as well, and also herbs for the skin. Now, when you start to think holistic, you have to understand that the adrenal glands are sitting on top of the kidneys. The adrenal the adrenal glands influence the kidneys. So you want to make sure you focus on the adrenal glands. Well, let's take it a next step further. The adrenal glands are a part of your endocrine system. So when bringing balance to the adrenal glands, you want to make sure you focus on the endocrine system as a whole. And then going over to the skin, when you're dealing with the skin, there's a link to the thyroid. There's also a link to the liver. You see where I'm going here? So even with the liver, when dealing with the skin and you're focusing on the liver, you have to focus on the entire digestive system. So you always want to think holistic to ensure that you get the desired results that you want. If not, you're gonna play the isolate game and look for a certain chemical in the liver or a certain chemical in your kidneys and try to fix that certain chemical, not fully understanding the chemistry of your body. I don't even think your experts understand the actual chemistry that's going on in your body. Uh, One example of this is that they just recently found out that the lymphatic system exists in your brain, and how important is your lymphatic system at the end of the day. Bear with me. I'm getting through it. All right. So hernia. I had a question about hernias. It was, yeah. What about hernias? So herbs for hernia. So hernias occur when part of your insides bulges through an opening or weakness in the muscle or tissue that contains it. So weak muscles or weak tissues. And whenever I hear tissues or even muscles, but mainly tissues, I think connective tissue. And when thinking about connective tissue, you have to focus on your parathyroid, which is what a part of your endocrine system. But some great herbs to observe for connective tissue weaknesses. You have horsetail, you have gotu, and also you have avena sativa, also known as oat or milky oat seed. Just wanted to make sure that was accurate. Yeah. So horsetail is a connective tissue tonic, so it could help to tone and tighten the tissues. Gotu is a connective tissue builder, and avena sativa oat, or also known as milky oat seed. Here we go. Is a connective tissue restorative, or have connect it has connective tissue restorative qualities for bones. So because of its high nutrient content, and even for the muscles, when building muscles, of course you want a lot of nutrition. So herbs like alfalfa leaf, parsley, nettle leaf, or the three herbs I like to mention a lot. So really your dark leafy greens, you could say. But when moving lymph, when you're really trying to move lymph, dark leafy green vegetables are not the way to go. And also, too, herbs are not limited to just one action. For example, the avena sativa is also a nervous system tropho-restorative and great for bringing balance to the emotions. Your the horsetail is also great for strengthening the hair, skin, and nails. And gotu is great for promoting circulation to the brain, reducing inflammation on the skin. So the herbs I mentioned, if you ever hear me mention just one action for them, I really don't think any herb is only has one action or is used for one thing in the body. And I think is what 2,000 plus medicinal herbs out there. And then I had a question about cavities. I believe they were mentioning reversing tooth decay. Yeah, reverse tooth decay remedy, please, if you have. So whenever you're talking about reversing anything or regenerating cells or regenerating tissue, you have to focus on the lymphatic system. Why? Because you need to move the waste out before you can start to strengthen the cells. So it's always clean and strengthen, clean and strengthen. So the horsetail and the avena sativa are also great for promoting bone health. Now, I haven't found anything yet that's talks about. I haven't found any herbs yet that talks about restoring tooth enamel. Oh, we got a special guest. Hold on. Nope, guess not. All right. But eventually I will find it, or they will do studies on it, and I will come across it of them talking about tooth enamel. But regardless, if I ever find the information or not, lymphatic system, you want to focus on the lymph. You want to make sure you're getting the proper nutrition from fruits, berries, and melons, as well as, gotta say it, tender leafy greens. And the reason for this is because you need to give the cells what they need to do the job that they were designed to do. And that's to keep you going and to bring balance to you and your cells. All right. Yeah. Like this, more info. Yeah. Hopefully that helped. I'm going to go ahead and end the podcast here. Thank you all for joining. And I am your host. Earthman T. Peace.
Spectate.
I'm feeling real good. Feeling like I never knock on wood. Studying my health, I think you should. Be a better you every day, keep it true. I'm feeling real good. Feeling like I never knock on wood. Studying my health, I think you should. Be a better you every day, keep it true, and be held accountable for everything that you do. Be surrounded by the ones that are loving you. Growing never sink unless you sinking in the shot. While you in the fourth quarter and the haters sit and watch. They don't wanna move. They wanna sit and talk, never do. Don't you worry about them, strive to improve. And when they gunning for your queen, kinda move. They don't wanna move. They wanna sit and talk, never do. Don't you worry about them, strive to improve. And when they gunning for your queen, kinda move. I'm feeling real good. Feeling like I never knock on wood. Studying my health, I think you should. Be a better you every day, keep it true. I'm feeling real good. Feeling like I never knock on wood. Studying my health, I think you should. Be a better you every day, keep it true. I'm feeling real good. Feeling so good. Feeling real. Feeling so